Mabuhay, this is Bob from Love Beyond the Sea. Love, I talk about marriage, my marriage to a Filipina, and just in general what guys need to know if they should decide to seek something like that, which, many still do, and I think they still should. And occasionally I'll come across something that I call an aberration. It's against the norm of relationships and marriage. I don't know if I've played the video on sleeping in separate beds or not by the time you see this, but this is like that. It just makes me wonder what's going on here. This is called living apart together, LAT. Maybe you've heard about that. I never have, but then it seems like nothing surprises me anymore with the type of living arrangements people come up with. Now, this is called living apart together. Article comes from foxnews.com, and it talks about a growing number of Americans are embracing a marriage trend called living apart together, LAT, where spouses live in separate households but stay in a relationship with each other. I kind of like having my mail come to, Mr. and Mrs. Love Beyond the Sea, but different residences, different homes, and they're married. I mean, who would want to do that? Now, maybe you are in a situation like that. Maybe you know somebody that is. Maybe you have some thoughts. Maybe you think I have too hard a line on relationships, but this is a chance to leave a comment here about living apart together. So it says here the couples choose this arrangement for a variety of reasons, but the New York Times claimed the trend was primarily driven by women seeking independence and personal space to have time for their own interests and self-fulfillment. Don't you have to possibly give up some of that when you get married and merge your life with someone else? I would think so, that you just have to talk through that. And there's some other comments here. It says nearly 4 million Americans live alone, according to data from the Census Bureau. And they got they say it skyrocketed between more people, Americans, with this type of living arrangement, living apart together, skyrocketed by more than 25% between 2019 and 2000, that 19-year period, and I guess maybe it's still going up. Somebody made the comment, I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a farmer. I don't know where I fit. Connie Ordway, who had been married to her husband, Jeff, for 18 years, recalled before she got her own place. Mother, wife, farmer, don't know where I fit. Why? Why doesn't this person know where they fit? A lot of people are mothers and wives and farmers, especially here in Nebraska, I suppose. I don't get the apparent disconnect here. The paper said Ordway hailed the arrangement as helping her, quote, remember who I am by myself, remember what I like doing by myself. And that was a lovely gift. I thought getting married was a lovely gift. And there were things I had to give up. It says other media outlets suggested living apart together could be a healthy way for some married couples to live. I'd like to know under what circumstances anyone thinks it's healthy for two people to be married and have a different residence. So to try to save time here, there's the idea of some that it's more romantic to be married and live apart together, and the secret to a long and happy and healthy marriage for some couples. But which couples? I'm going to have some thoughts here myself on this. I wish I had more time. Living apart together. Women seeking independence and personal space. Well, that was tied into that video on having separate bedrooms when you're married. It's this personal my space. I want my time. I want to be able to do what I want to do as if I was not married in the first place. Well, I mean, you all know, right? When you get married, you're married to another person, and you can't just, marriage doesn't mean you're dating and now you're married and nothing changes. I sure hope people don't think it's that way. I've been married for 7.5 years. My wife and I didn't even know each other existed 55 days before we got married, 9,800 miles apart. But we haven't felt like, we've lost independence and personal space. At least I haven't. As far as I know, my wife hasn't. Somebody said there in that article, remember who I am, who I was by myself, and what I like doing by myself. I guess they can't do those things anymore, but I don't know why. I don't think that's happened to me and my wife. What about you? I don't get the idea that people's lives change inside out when they get married. I mean, I suppose if you get married and you move 1,000 miles away, a different job, and everybody's different, and you don't have your support around you, but you just start that life over together, if that's the direction that you're going. Living apart together is the secret to a long and fulfilling marriage. Well, I'm sure there's many people married 30, 40, 50, 60 years, never heard of living apart together, and would scoff at the idea and probably tell you we never would have been married for decades if we thought about this silly idea of LAT, living apart together. You're always going to be working through difficult circumstances. Things might be great at the start, and there's job issues, there's health issues, maybe issues with somebody in your family, health issues, and personality issues when you're married. Then you find out what they're really like and what you're really like too. And once you get over the shock of what you're capable of doing, and she gets over the shock of what she's capable of doing and saying, then you start working together to be able to stay together. But you learn more about each other when you are married. I think living apart together probably minimizes that time that you can spend learning. And if they're trying to avoid arguments and stress and disagreements, well, then they don't want to be married. Then, golly, that's how you have to work on give and take and wanting to do what's best for the other person. Sometimes that means you got to try to stop them from doing something you think would be very unwise and not good for them. The Bible says you'll have troubles in the flesh. Doesn't say when you get married, all your troubles go away. You marry that beautiful Filipina, all your troubles go away. How could you ever have trouble again? She's so beautiful. She's so pretty. But we will have problems. And when you are married, you do have to give up something. I've had to give up getting up at the same time I've always gotten up my whole life, because my wife doesn't want to do it that way. She's second shift. We can't just say, well, you do it your way, I'll do it my way. No, we got to work something out together so we can sleep together. Unlike the people in that one of these last videos I did. So that's one of the sacrifices. And then, her time schedule and going to school, but, she needs to get that degree. At least I'm supporting her doing that. And in time, things go back and forth, and she'll probably have more time to spend with me. But right now I'm making those sacrifices for her. It seems like LAT is like an abandonment, living apart together. Well, something could go wrong, so I'll see you tomorrow. Or, well, we can't do things together because we always argue, I'll see you tomorrow, but I want to stay married. Well, why not just work things out then? The Bible talks about cleaving together, leaving and cleaving. Cleaving doesn't sound to me like, well, we'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to go home now, to your spouse. I mean, doesn't this just sound preposterous? Let me know what you think. At Love Beyond the Sea, I want to help people get married and stay married. There might be, sadly, 4 million married Americans living, apart from their spouses. That's not going to happen with me and my Love Beyond the Sea.